Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Alternate Reality Detectives podcast. I am one of your three hosts, Hans. We have Brick or Brady,
Hello.
and we have a brand new host, Cinnabon or Riley.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Hans stepping in while editing right now, while listening back, and as you guys have just heard, there are Minecraft sounds playing, and that's because Brady is just being bad and didn't turn off Minecraft sounds. I decided to leave those sounds in because it will take too much time to edit all of those out, and I think it was quite funny. Also, my connection was a little iffy this time, and so some of the words I will say will become robotic-y. But I swear I am not a robot. Lastly, to provide credit, I'd like to mention Groovy for helping us out on researching hiimmarymary. Anyways, enjoy the episode. So, we are going to talk about a few things today, starting with two, or we are going to talk about two ARGs today. One of them called Evaluation for You, and Hi, I'm Mary. But before we get started, I would like to plug our brand new Patreon page. It is it can be found at www.patreon.com/theardetectives. Uh, Riley, would you like to tell us a little bit more about our Patreon page?
I will after I handle my cat. She's screaming, and she just ran and hit herself against a wall, so I have to. That she's not dead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That is okay. Uh, all right, I'll say a little bit about it first. So, if you really enjoy our podcast, we would really like the support for your monthly donations for as much as you would like to donate. We have some uh, donation tiers from $1, $5 plural, and $10. um, each different tier will give you different special behind the scenes access or different perks for the podcast if you donate $1 through $4 a month. By donating $1 a month, you will receive a special message from all three of us. We also have a patron-only voice chat on the Discord, so you can talk to us whenever you like if we are online. And lastly, you will get access to patron-only polls, which we will ask you for different ideas or anything really that we would like your help on. So we'll ask you guys to decide, hey, which ARG would you like to hear in the very next episode? Or how could we improve the podcast? Stuff like that. Besides, oh, and one more thing, you'll get the basic backer tag on Discord, and that'll just show everybody that you are a proud supporter of the Alternate Reality Detectives podcast. So we have a few more tiers above that, and they give you more perks in addition to the previous ones. Is there anything you would like to say about that, Brady?
I'm not really too sure about the Patreon stuff. That's kind of, I let you guys handle that.
Okay,
So,
alright. Um, it's kind of an inconvenience that Riley's cat is
yeah.
She's okay now. I'm back.
okay.
She had just hit herself against a wall and was very upset, but I calmed her down, so we're good.
That
Um,
is amazing.
yeah. I don't know. She's just been really upset recently. Anyways, back to what we're talking about.
Patreon.
Yeah, we were talking about Patreon. I introduced the first tier just to give a little sneak or preview at what our Patreon provides. Um, is there anything you would like to talk about Patreon?
With Patreon, I guess it's don't feel like you need to support us financially. It's just a nice way to help us get more materials that'll help us with the podcast and make it higher quality. And you don't even have to, donate that much. It's monthly, so you'll be charged monthly, like $1, $2, or however much you decide to donate.
And obviously you can what's it called? Like cancel it. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was looking for.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
can cancel it whenever, so
So
don't
like
worry about it being
even if you wanted
too
to just
much.
do like 1 month, then you could do that.
So yeah, that's
Mhm.
really about it.
Um, yeah. All right.
So I guess that we should get started.
Yeah, let's get started on the actual content.
Right.
We can talk about evaluation for you.
Brady, you're running the show.
Okay. So about how long's the server been around? It's been about 3 weeks, right?
I think two
Yeah.
or 3 weeks, yeah.
Uh, okay. So around 2 weeks ago, it was like I'm pretty sure it was the day the server was made. Um, someone joined and they were like, "Hey," and I saw this ARG, looks pretty cool. We should all work on it. And so then we started our first server ARG, like the first ARG we worked on as a server, and it didn't go very well. um,
Yeah.
And why is that?
so originally we started out an we had the first video, and in that video there was a code. That code, or that supposed code, led to a Twitter, uh, which led to a bunch of uh, it had a bunch of like the end of YouTube videos. So we went through all of those, and it ended up,
We were stuck on a website that was password protected.
yeah. Oh yeah, the YouTube video was the quote unquote first step of the evaluation exam, and it was like the evaluation was for a bodysuit, something
I
like that.
I don't remember.
Um,
So, I'm gonna step in here. I was not a participant of helping you guys investigate, and I am a little confused. So, what is evaluation for you? Like, what is this ARG about?
It really had no premise except finish these quizzes and you're like worthy of, like, it didn't really have any, you get what I mean, Brady? It didn't really have any like final destination to get to. It was just like
yeah,
do these puzzles.
like like apparent it said evaluation. The description of the first exam gives a riddle. It gives what we assume are things that correlate to colors, and then permission for music used in it. And then it says evaluation for you incorporated testing to suit who needs it. So we don't really know what that means. Oh, there was also a link to a password in that description, to a password protected website. Um, so in the video, in the evaluation video, uh, it it starts out saying you have passed the first part of the exam. Uh, tells us it's not the end. Then it says there are many more tests to find if you're a suitable vessel. Uh, and then it tells us to take a moment to read over a segment of rules located in a booklet provided.
Yeah,
So,
Uh-huh.
we couldn't find one.
so what I was starting to think, because the other day I actually came across an ARG that was happening soon, that had to do with uh like there was a physical booklet that they would send to you. Like you had to pre-register for it, and you could either get a booklet or you could get it like, or you can get it sent to you in like a PDF file. But I'm wondering if that's maybe what that is. If this was some kind of like pre-register thing that you were supposed to do before starting it.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
Okay, so what I'm getting at this is that it's a mess,
yeah,
and
it's a huge
yeah.
mess. Anyway,
gotcha.
the rest of the video after, because that wasn't all the video. After that, it showed a video of some, like, it was pictures of babies, and then they had 5 ice cream cones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 5 ice cream cones: red, blue, yellow, pink, and
Purple.
green.
Yeah.
And like, I even took notes on like what happens. Oh, there's also events that happen before each before and after each ice cream is taken. The only one that it doesn't is yellow. So we thought that had something to do with the password. We tried everything and we're just stuck. And I mean, that's pretty much it.
So that's where we have ended up on for evaluation for you.
Yeah, pretty
Yep.
much. And unless somehow the creator can give us some kind of hint as to what to do or what the password could be, then we're done with it. I mean, we even archived the channel today.
Yeah. So if any listeners out there want to take a look at this, we have our evaluation for you channel archived, and you could just scroll through that, catch up on whatever we have. You can definitely ask
Yeah.
anyone around to see if you could try to solve it yourself.
Yeah. The main ones that worked on this were me. Sin worked on it a little, I think. Um,
Yeah. I worked on the password mainly.
yeah. Who else was it? There
Groovy?
was, yeah, Groovy worked on it. Some dude that his name started with an L. Oh, Criminy worked on it. Jason helped for like the first part, I believe. I don't know. I can't find him.
Was it Lannister?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Minister. Yeah.
I think he's left the
Ah,
server.
okay. That makes sense. But
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
Um.
that's where we are.
So I guess the takeaway from that is some ARGs just don't really
Work.
work. Maybe there is an actual solution and we just
We just
haven't
don't.
found it,
Oh no,
but
I'm sure there's an actual solution. I just think that he poorly made how that solution's supposed to be found, or she,
right.
don't want to be. Gotta be PC.
All right. Uh yeah, that's probably about it for E4U.
Yep.
And
So now, hi, Mary.
hi, I'm Mary Mary.
This one is fun.
Uh could we consider this to be a rabbit hole ARG?
Mm,
I believe it could be considered one because there are quite a few sources of medium for this. The
I
main
mean,
ones are the Twitter and YouTube, right?
that and her blog, but, like, I mean,
And
yeah, it
yeah,
could.
there is a blog as well.
The blog is where a lot of stuff is hidden, so I could see that being rabbit hole.
All right, so let's get over the basics. The Twitter is twitter.com/. Hi there, I am Mary, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
hi there, I am Mary. And the YouTube channel is Hi, I'm Mary Mary, I believe.
Yep.
And Riley, would you like to give us a summary of the
I
ARG?
can, yeah. Basically, it's this girl who wakes up randomly in a house that seems like it's her own, but kind of like a copy of it because there's things that are missing. And her name is Mary, and that's kind of a given. But she really can't remember anything about herself. She's like kind of lost her memory. And throughout the videos, you see there's these like monster-esque things that are just chasing her and causing her havoc and making her unable to sleep and feel comfortable with herself. And she can't leave the house. She's stuck in there. All the locks like are stuck. All the windows are sealed, and she's stuck with her head and these three monsters that won't leave her alone. So,
And who are those three monsters?
so there's Shadow Mary, or the Covered Woman is another name for her. Then the Shadow Man and Mirror Mary. Each of them kind of are a play on what's going on in her head. So Mirror Mary is like always making fun of her. She only shows up in mirrors and taunts her and screams at her and is like, "You're ugly," basically. Then Shadow Mary follows her around all the time, reaches at her and is like, "You're not worthy. No one loves you." And then the Shadow Man comes out whenever she's trying to sleep, usually. It makes it impossible for her to rest.
So kind of like a sleep paralysis demon, but
Yeah, like a sleep paralysis demon.
All right. Uh, so to provide a little bit more detail, the house that she wakes up in, she believes that it's her parents' house, but just a copy of it. So that's why it does seem familiar to her. Let's talk about the characters a little bit more in depth. The covered lady, or Shadow Mary. What is she, or who is she, basically?
I mean, she's she's called Shadow Mary for a reason because she looks like Mary, has the same figure as her and such. So it's presumed that it is her, but since it's a shadow figure, Mary can't really tell that, and
Right.
causes her to be creeped out by it and plays on her fears. So,
Shadow Mary doesn't show her face, though, right?
right, that's because she's a shadow. She's like a silhouette.
Okay. All right. Um, and then Mirror Mary.
Yeah, she doesn't she have a mask on? I can't remember.
yeah,
It is a mask, so it
Yeah, she has a
from
mask instead.
what is interpreted, it is the perfect version of what Mary sees of herself.
Mhm.
And what Mary sees in Mirror Mary is that she's just constantly mocking her because she isn't perfect.
Right.
And Mirror Mary, it is she also goes by Maria in the, I believe, Nexpo video.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
Uh,
what
think that's what he
he.
calls.
yeah, but I'm not sure if there's any basis on the actual
There,
name for
I
Maria.
couldn't find any basis. Like, it's not candid. I think it's just kind of assumed.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
also one other character that we didn't mention, which was the lady in white.
Lady in
Oh
White,
yeah,
correct.
Lady in White is shown towards the end. Well, not the end, but more recent videos on the channel. And she's kind of like a source of hope for Mary. She can also be seen as, the audience trying to tell her to get help because when she first appears and talks to Mary, she's like, according to Nexpo, he like read her lips and said that she's telling Mary to get out, get help. That she isn't safe here, like not even in the garden, which is her safe place.
Hmm. Yeah, it should be noted that the Lady in White, is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Can only be found in the garden. And the garden is one of the other locations besides the house.
It's the only other place within the story that Mary can actually go to, and it's seen as the outside world, which causes confusion for me at the beginning because I was like, hold on, I thought you couldn't go outside, and then I realized that it's actually more of like a symbolism for a headspace. Not
Yeah.
really.
So it's often interpreted that the house is actually Mary's mind, and
It's
the
how she's
garden.
coping.
hmm hmm Yeah, it's more of her escaping the demons inside her mind and finding relaxation outside of it. Let's talk about each video.
Yeah, I'll try and do as brief as I can because there's only 17 videos, but so much happens.
So actually, yeah, before we get started, there are 17 videos, but it has been confirmed that there will be two more to wrap the entire ARG up. Uh,
Wait, where was it confirmed?
on Okay, so the game maker for this ARG, nobody knows who she is, but she goes by Kay, and on her behind the scenes Tumblr stated that there is two more episodes coming, most
Oh
likely
yeah,
this year, and that would wrap up the entire
the
ARG.
entire thing. Dang.
And so when those two are released, we will definitely talk about it
Yeah.
in a future episode.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, but as of now, it is already a bulk of the content we that is already introduced to us, that is already shown.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's begin with the first episode. Hello.
Oh Lord, I thought you were saying hello to me at first for a second. But I gotta get to our master post.
uh, so the videos, they range from, I don't know, I don't remember how short they can be. I think a minute
From like,
long,
yeah, minute to 17
and
minutes.
then it can range up to 17, 14. I thought it was
I thought it
14.
was 17. Oh, it's 14
Do
now.
Not
Just
Touch
getting
is
another.
14 minutes long, and that is the longest video to date.
Yeah.
And in these videos, a lot of times Mary doesn't want to, or she doesn't show her face. She'll let her show parts of it, but not its entirety. Uh,
Yeah. Which is
yeah,
followed through onto the blog too. Whenever she posts a photo, she
she
covers up
would
her face in it.
scratch it up, or yeah. What else? The very first episode, I'll talk about what I know of it. It is very introductory. It introduces the first, uh, I guess, antagonist, which is Covered Lady, or Shadow Mary. And we start to get the sense that during the daytime, everything is okay, and Mary doesn't have to encounter these creatures. But when it becomes nighttime,
They come out to play.
they come out. Correct.
And it's kind of sad because you would think that this would carry throughout the ARG, and like that would be, she'd be safe. No, it becomes like eventually where she's not even safe during the day
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna assume that whatever her issues are, like anxiety, depression, or self-image wise, like her issues worsened, so she just didn't feel comfortable at all.
Right.
But do you want to start with the timeline actually, because that would explain a lot more when it comes to
Time.
like the blog's connection to it.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
Take the stage.
So if we start at the very, very beginning, Hi, I'm Mary Mary. She begins a blog, I believe, right at the beginning of 2018, and it reveals all this background information that like we didn't have in 2016 when this ARG started. So Mary has a friend named Liz, and they're like really, really close, which is shown in their audio files that are shared within the blog. She's talking about crushes and hanging out with one another, just normal teenager things. But then Mary and Liz get into an argument because Mary just can't confide in Liz because she has issues and she isn't comfortable sharing them with anyone. And this is when the first mention of the Shadow Man occurs. whenever Mary is arguing with, she gets really, really pissed off and starts swearing, and then they're like, "I saw the shadow man." Like, was that a shadow, guys? That kind of thing, and it kind of leads you to connect that the shadow man's connected to her anger as well, and then
Okay.
yeah, after her argument with Liz, she goes into the woods, and then 9 or 11 days after she goes into the woods, hello is posted. You get what I'm saying? She gets lost and then chills and then posts hello.
Okay. Interesting. Um, so there's a little bit of disconnect there.
Yeah, I think she spends time in the woods where something happens and she gets like mentally really effed up, and that leads her to the video being posted.
And so that's where the first video comes in, hello, and we've already talked a little bit about that.
hmm
After that, what
And that one's
happens?
just introduction, and then dislikeness is posted. It was
Yeah.
also kind of introductory. Um,
Can you say that
it,
again?
what?
Can you say that again? I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Dislikeness is also introductory, in my opinion. She explains that, like, whenever she takes food out of the cabinet, more food appears, so she isn't going to starve to death. And then we see Mirror Mary, and then she's, like, being mocked by her. And the video ends with Mary saying that she wants to break the mirror so
Right.
she can't see herself.
So Mary, or Mirror Mary, is introduced as someone who's always laughing at Mary. She's always it's a cynical laugh.
Yeah.
Like she's making fun of her. That it's implied that Mirror Mary's saying that she's not pretty. She doesn't look good,
hmm
and so that's where Mirror Mary is introduced. What is after dislikeness?
After Dislikeness, we get Good Night, which introduces the Shadow Man and actually shows him for the first time. So instead of just talking about him like she does in the audio recording, we actually see him and how he interrupts her sleep and scares her and leads her to sleeping during the daytime because she doesn't feel comfortable sleeping at night.
What could Shadow Man be interpreted as?
For me, I kind of see Shadow Man as like, that I wouldn't call it a meme, but like emo hours when you're like up at like 3 a.m. and or like someone's up really late and that's when like no one's awake, you're alone, you're kind of by yourself and you're just with your thoughts.
So every night.
But that's what I view it as because at night, like at least for a lot of people I know, that's when they're more likely to be upset or not happy with themselves, and that's when like the darkness appears. During the day, you can't really focus on that because there's plenty of things around you occurring. So she's
Mhm.
okay sleeping during the day because like there's so much stuff around her. Like she can actually do things in the house. The lights are on. She can see. But at night, that's when she's stuck with herself, and
All
that's when
right.
the shadow man appears.
That yeah, that makes sense. All right. Uh, so that was darkness, right?
Yeah, I
Or good
mean
night.
it,
That was good night.
it happens in both of them. The
So
shadow
after
man
good
really
night.
focuses on her in both of those. Because she tries to, in the darkness moves, she tries to use lights to protect herself
Mm-hmm.
and think that they won't come near her, and it doesn't work whatsoever. They
Okay.
still try and attack.
So that is one thing I was wondering, which is Shadow Man related to the darkness? Because in the darkness moves, it shows a creature which has a lot of arms or whatever that
Yeah.
represents darkness.
hmm
Are those two the same or
I thought they were the same, and I'm pretty sure they are. It's just Shadow Man in like a different shape, because I mean shadows can change,
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Okay.
because Shadow Man's more of like a figurative thing. It's not like Shadow Mary or Mirror Mary, which are like two very distinct issues she has.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I saw it as.
Okay. Uh, the darkness or shadow man. It's often interpreted that the when the darkness consumes her, it's when she blacks out, and that's often associated to when Mary actually has a panic attack and
Mm-hmm.
she blacks out from panic attacks, and that's when the darkness consumes her.
Yes. Why do I have another dog?
It's my dog.
We have
I
another
um,
I
dog.
don't know what you mean, your dog. It's mine.
After the darkness moves, we have worse.
Oh yeah.
What is worse?
Worse. I think this is when her issues start really escalating, cause the covered lady or Shadow Mary kind of just like is following her everywhere and calling out her name, and she's screaming at her, and then the video starts glitching, and just and then apparently at the end of it it says she wouldn't leave. So I'm just thinking her issues are worsening, and that's why these demon things won't leave her alone.
Hmm.
Because that's like the only thing I can get from that, except like the electrical interference is maybe another symbol for like panic or anxiety attack.
Yeah, like like you're not thinking clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's interference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then after worse is posted, we
We get
have
daily life update.
correct.
This
What
one,
is in this daily life update?
she is more comfortable talking now, but I need to check the difference in like how long these posts were in between. 1 second.
Daily life update was posted 4 months, 5 months after worse was updated.
Yeah. So she's had like 5 months to herself, 5 months handling this by herself, and she starts getting more confident in herself here. She's like doing her makeup. She checks the doors consistently just to,
Yeah,
be
so
sure
she's
the
built
lights
herself
are on.
a routine.
Yeah, she has a routine. She's got things that she does so she can stay distracted from the things that are getting to her. And you think that she's doing okay because she's got a routine, but at the very end of the episode, Mary literally has a breakdown, screaming and crying at Mirror Mary because she's laughing at her. And it just says, I'm doing well at the end. Which to me reminds me of people that are like, I'm fine. And you know they're not fine. They've got problems, but they don't want to talk about it. And that's why she has this entire video feigning that she's okay, but then has like a mental breakdown.
Gotcha.
All this is just like a really big commentary on basic, self confidence and depression and anxiety that a lot of teenagers have.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's just like, hey, you should talk to someone before your issues get this bad that you feel like you're stuck in your head and
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
escape.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I gotta drink my apple juice.
All right. Yeah, so we get an update that from Mary. And after the daily life update, Sleepwalker is posted just a month after, 2 months after. And what is in Sleepwalker? So after daily life update, Sleepwalker is posted 2 months after, and Sleepwalker shows what exactly?
Yeah, this is another video where she's like way more confident, it seems, but it ends once again with her kind of having a breakdown. She is taunting the Shadow Man, and she's like, "What are you gonna do? You can't do anything." And then he gets like pissed at her, and it cuts to her trying to sleep, and you can see it like she's trying to sleep during the daytime because it's the only time she feels safe. But then she's like, "Never mind, I'm not safe," because the Shadow Man comes at her and tries to grab at her. And at the very end, it's like, there's only emptiness. I get what I deserve. Like, this stuff never ends. I can't escape it. So I just see it once again. It's like, she thinks she's good, but she's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. You have anything to add to that?
I do have stuff, but I think we could talk about that later.
Okay.
Discovery is then posted. Let's
And
see.
this is when she discovers the garden.
Right.
Because at the very end, she's just like talking to Shadow Mary the entire episode. It's not really anything different, except that she goes into a loop of like walking around the house, and then it ends the loop by her falling into like off a cliff or something into water,
Into water. Yeah, so
and then
she
it leads to the next thing.
she's chased around by uh Shadow Mary,
Yeah,
and once something happens, Mary is able to escape, and she ends up in the garden.
yep. Which leads to outside
All right.
inside.
Yeah. So that's the big discovery. She discovers the garden. Whoa.
Yep.
Uh, the next month, Outside Inside is posted.
Which is kind of a fitting name when you
And why
think
is
about
that?
it. Because the garden's actually inside of her head, so it's outside yet inside.
Ah, that is that is
Brady, I'm gonna kill you.
quite a revelation.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm gonna cut that out of the podcast, maybe. I that's a threat. um, so what is inside the video for Outside Inside?
It's just her walking around the garden, but it ends with the camera glitching, and she wakes up back inside the house, which shows you, even though it's her safe place, she still isn't, fully safe.
Outside Inside, so that's that.
Yes.
And after a few months, 4 months, after four
Yeah.
months, Do Not Touch is posted. Do Not Touch in all capitalizations. And so this is the longest video posted by Mary.
And the most intense one.
So what is inside Do Not Touch?
So, throughout this entire video, it's like all three of them are just tormenting her to the best of their ability, like the most they've ever been. Um, the video starts with her saying that she's made a terrible mistake, and she's just pissed at every one of them. So she's like, "I see you guys. Quit messing with me. Stop doing that. Like, quit bothering me, basically."
Mm.
And they're like, "You can't control us," and start playing with their head. So, hold on. Like, they start giving like random phone calls from private phone numbers. And she's like, "Oh, I can answer this. Maybe someone will help me." But she can never answer the phone before it stops ringing. Or whenever she does answer the phone, it's screaming, like
Ah,
in Shadow Mary. And then the doorbell starts ringing, and she can't get it to stop. And she's screaming like, "I'm sorry, I can't open the door. It's locked, and I can't unlock it. Please stop ringing the doorbell." And they just keep doing it
and this
until,
is where she breaks down, right? When
yeah, she
she can't
breaks down.
actually open
Yeah,
the door.
yeah, she breaks down and is just like laying in front of the door, crying and screaming. And then she starts seeing that darkness, the like weird shaped shadow man. And she's like, "Stay there. I'm gonna try and like grab it, whatever this is." She can't get it no matter how hard she tries. And then once again, they kind of do a mind screw up with her, trying to be PC. And the camera becomes a GoPro. And she's like, "Is this all you can do? Is this the only thing you can do to scare me?" And then all the lights turn off in the house. And she's like, "Crap."
Mm.
And everything flashes on the screen saying, "I can't believe I've let myself get this bad. I'm ashamed of myself." And then all of them start telling her that they hate her and no one loves her and that she's a monster. It's just like a lot of playing with their head to make her even worse.
Do you guys know how this could translate into actual uh
Issues?
mental? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do for sure. With anxiety and depression, they really play off one another.
Mm-hmm.
So anxiety can be like, "I'm really anxious to do this, but like I should do it," and the depression's like, "But you don't even have the motivation to do it." And
Mm-hmm.
it's also some of the things from previous um, videos that were posted, like her checking the doors every hour, has been connected to OCD,
Mm-hmm.
which I can definitely understand as someone with OCD. Checking doors can become a habit. So her doing it hourly definitely like caught my eye. So them just the issues worsening and playing off one another and telling her that she's awful is definitely like very easily connected to me at least. Like they play off one another and can worsen.
Yeah. All right. And then after Do Not Touch is posted, we get Hide and Seek 1 month later.
This video really
Mm-hmm.
just proves at least our theory that these are all in her head.
Uh-huh.
They prove it because throughout the entire video she's playing hide and seek basically with Shadow Mary.
Wow.
Wow. At the very end though, Shadow Mary's like, "You'll never." I can't remember what she says because it wasn't audible. I couldn't understand it. But she tells her she deserves pain. She deserves everything that she's done to, you know, hurt her. And Mary's confused. She says, "I don't understand what I did. What's this all mean?" And Shadow Mary says, "You already know. After all, you made us."
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
hmm,
That
that sounds like they're creations of her head. So, hmm, I don't know what
even
else that could mean.
even though it might not be intentional, it's still implying that it's a formulation from her own mind that
Yeah.
she sees and is going through all this. It further backs up that the house is her mind,
Hmm.
and the creatures and the darkness is just her physical interpretations of what is fighting her inside her mind. What
Yeah, it's a
is
manifestation of
right, right.
her issues.
That's the right word. I couldn't think of it at the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
manifestation. Um, yeah. And then after that, we have check-in.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
get check in.
on New Year's Day of 2018, check-in is posted. And what is check-in about?
Um, it's her explaining that she goes to the garden, her safe place, much more often. She stays there every night because she feels safe, and she still sees the other people, like not the people, but her issues, but she feels safe there, and she's like, "I can stay here forever."
Mm-hmm.
And she's just kind of given up on figuring out anything about herself because she says, "I don't need to look for my past anymore. The garden's everything I need." And then she sees the white figure, which to me is like, oh, the audience is like, "Sis, you need to keep looking. That's not gonna work for you, not for very long." And then she shares a Twitter link. She's created a Twitter so she can be in contact, I was gonna go in depth with the Twitter account, but
But it's a
man,
lot of
she tweets a
posts.
lot, like a lot.
Um, yeah,
So
and
I
this
just
brings
didn't.
up something else, and that she, from what she sees, no one is actually there responding, retweeting, liking her
Hmm.
tweets. Not even on YouTube. She sees 0 views, no comments. Or in that case, on YouTube, comments were disabled on the videos.
Hmm.
And I do not quite remember when, but after certain events, it is realized that she does have people trying to help her, responding and trying to support her, but that doesn't happen until later, right?
It happens in Intruder,
An intruder.
where
All right,
yeah.
so
So collection comes first, and that's when she
uh-huh.
shares the blog link. And that's when she's like, "Hey, I don't really feel like going through the stuff I found, but y'all can go through it. So here's my blog." And then Intruder happens next, and it opens with, "I'm so glad you're all my friends." Like,
Hmm.
she's in a good headspace. She's like, "I've got people that care about me."
Yeah,
But Shadow Mary is like, "Nah, they don't care
they don't
about
care
you.
about you. Hmm.
She says they hate you. They'll never care about you. They think you're funny. They think you're entertainment. They hate you. They don't care." And then it cuts to black. And I think throughout this video, this is when it shows like on the screen that her like follower count is 0,
Mm.
because
Okay.
it's shown before that she has followers, and then in this she like is convinced that no one gives a crap.
Okay. So it's her mind still.
Yeah, playing tricks.
Hmm.
And this is when the lady in white shows up and actually tries talking to her and tells her, "Mary, you need to get out of there. You're not okay. You need help. Can you hear me? You're not safe." And
Mary. Yeah.
yeah, and tries
Okay.
to get her to not just fall for their tricks. But it doesn't seem to work because Mary throws up while she's in the garden, and the doorbell keeps ringing. She can't really walk at all. It's just like she's having a full-on panic attack and can't breathe.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. After intruder, what else?
There's
Oh,
the
but in between all of this, we are getting posts from her blog.
Mhm.
So what are these posts?
Most of them are either audio clips or photos of her with like family members, it seems, or old friends. But in each picture, she has her face either like covered up or scratched out
Hmm.
because she doesn't like her face. And she says,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
seeing one post. She believes that she's with her father,
yeah, she thinks she's
and
with her dad." And then another one, she says, "I think this might be my friend from the audio thing." And
uh, also Liz.
yeah, she believes that it's Liz because she feels familiar with that picture, but she doesn't really know who it is. And then
Okay,
throughout it, audio files are being released that are previously dated to like 2017 or 2016. So,
gotcha. All right, and then after intruder, there are more blog posts.
hmm,
And what are these blog posts?
I gotta get to that.
It is all right.
Oh yeah, she's posting distorted photos, and whenever you go to the source code, there's messages hidden within the photos
Oh,
from what it seems to be is a family friend or possibly Liz, is what I thought. And it's saying stuff like, "You guys need to get it through to her that she needs to try reposting this. She needs to fight against them. She can't just stay in the garden." And is trying to get the audience to communicate with her because this friend, it seems, is unable to get in contact with her, which could be the phone calls from previously. and she just was tricked into hearing screaming because she doesn't really want to talk. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So like all the sources of communications are actually cut off from like the real world, but she's fine with the internet because internet addiction is a thing. So she's like, these people don't actually know me, I can trust them. But all the distorted photos have like little hints in them and secret messages. And then we get Rain, which is her talking about how the garden doesn't seem safe anymore.
Okay. Um, so why does it not seem safe?
She says, to quote, "Something is wrong with the garden, the weather is changing, it's rarely sunny." And then it shows a clip of Shadow Man. Sometimes there's only water, and it shows her struggling to breathe. And Mirror Mary, and she keeps finding broken things that look destroyed and like worn down and rusted. And she's like gone back to being kind of compulsive and like obsessive by like looking at her arms
Mm,
and just says this isn't the bridge that I remember because earlier when the garden was still pretty and safe for her, there was a pretty bridge that she loved to walk across and just spend her time at. But it ends with her saying it'll be all right, and then it cuts like with a lot of distortion.
I see. Okay.
Oh, sorry, 1 second.
I think metaphorically, rain could be seen as literal rain could be seen as uh her mind being fogged up or being muddied up.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because in literature, it's also used for that.
Correct.
Like with books, if fog or rain appears, it's usually a troubling time or a time where it's confusing for the main characters.
It's where the sun disappears. Where sun usually represents better times or
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, better days. Um, all right, rain. We have two two more posts on the blog.
Um, I just realized that I was incorrect about that follower thing where she sees them disappear. That's in a later um,
Ah,
video, but it
okay.
still happens.
Mhm.
1 second, I'm checking the timeline. Oh yeah, she
We
posts
have
a journal entry, doesn't she?
a silent file.
Yeah, she posts a silent file and says that she can't hear it, but it says that there's nothing in it whatsoever. But if you listen to it, she's in the forest, like crying, really, really upset, which dates back to the night that she gets into the argument with Liz, which
Mm,
and this kid out of Liz. And it's just her in the forest trying to find some place to go. I think in that video she says, "I saw the shadow," and I think that's
okay,
when the shadow like takes over and all her issues, you know, overwhelm her.
got it. And
When she posts the journal
after that,
entry too.
oh, yeah, what is
Yep.
this journal entry?
The journal entry is. I'll read the poem real quick because it's real short. It says, "Grow, pressure, build, grow, pressure, build, grow, pressure, build," and suddenly, snap. And
Oh,
yeah, and she on the blog it says, "Think it's just when I was being edgy." Um,
right.
yeah, I was like, I don't think that's you just being edgy, because guess what happens in the silent file?
Mm,
She is calling Liz, and she says everything built up and snapped, like literally quoting her poem.
oh, okay. So that there's that connection.
Yeah, so they connect, and it's like It wasn't you being edgy. And then after that blog post, Hiimmarymary?
Yeah. After that, we have Gone. What is on YouTube? Gone is uploaded onto YouTube.
Oh lord, this one is her being physically attacked by Shadow Mary throughout like the entire video. She's just being attacked.
Uh, being attacked physically now.
Yeah, physically. She throws her down the stairs, I believe. Yeah. She throws her down the stairs and says nothing's left for her and keeps degrading her, hitting her on the head, and Mary's begging for her to stop because she's in so much pain. And it ends with Shadow Mary twisting her arm
Oh,
and telling her like all she can do is just suffer.
and so we start to see that it's not getting any better.
Hmm.
It's it's uh it's still tormenting her, and
Yeah, and it gets really bad in the next video.
after Gone.
Yeah, last 8 months. It starts with another collage of her being attacked, and
Oh,
yeah, and Shadow Mary is still degrading her. She says that she has no point in trying anymore, so her depression's like really hit her, and she's laying on the floor. She's yelling at the doorbell to stop because it's still ringing.
it's
Uh,
okay.
she's losing hair.
Oh,
She's found a picture of herself, and she's like, I don't know who this is. And then it literally shows a clip of her pulling out her own tooth.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I had to watch it a couple of times because there was flashing text on the screen, but it says, my hands are rotting. I feel like I'm decaying. Which is shown by her literally losing hair and pulling out her teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she screams, I can't do this anymore. Her flashlight isn't working. The bell won't stop. And then it shows Mirror Mary killing Mary.
Wow. That
Yeah. And
that gets that's intense.
that's the most recent upload from like 3 weeks ago. And
In
ever
addition
since
to
then,
this
there's a
video, we
blog post.
mhm.
And the
By the
blog.
And
way, we've
Hmm?
been recording an hour. Just letting you
Okay.
guys know.
what?
We've
We've
been
been recording
recording
for
an
an hour.
hour.
Oh, okay. Damn.
We're almost
It's okay.
done.
We can keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in addition with it, like Juan said, the blog has a post, and it literally says, uh, let me, it says feature of this blog, and she says she's either going to delete this blog herself or ask her, which I'm guessing is either Shadow Mary or
Shadow.
Mirror Mary, to do it whenever she asks her to kill her. So
Wow.
this is basically her like saying, I'm suicidal.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be dead than go through this torment anymore.
hmm
So
All right. And is there anything else besides these posts now?
there's one more post that was before June 18th. It's from October 29th. Uh, and it's another journal entry. And it's the day that she's going to a party with Liz. And it says, I feel ugly, but that's normal. Which shows there's Mirror Mary. Um, and then at
hmm
the top of the next page, it says that there's a hell in my mind. And I'm over here thinking, hell in my mind is still the same thing as hi, I'm Mary Mary.
Yeah.
They have the same first letter.
All right. So that is where Hi, I'm Mary Mary is now. And as stated before, there are two more videos to be uploaded. And these two videos are going to be attempts to wrap up the entire series. It is quite fascinating that this ARG started 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and
It's still ongoing.
it is still ongoing. Yeah, correct. Um, besides that, I have a few things of my own input to say, and that is to start with the name of the ARG itself. Hi, I'm Mary Mary. It has been confirmed that Mary Mary is based off of the English nursery rhyme, Mary Mary quite contrary.
Mm-hmm.
And how that goes is, Mary Mary quite contrary, how does your garden grow with silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row? Mary, in this nursery rhyme, is based off of Queen Mary the First, more commonly known as Bloody Mary. And this has a pretty significant meaning as their Queen Mary the First basically created her own cemetery of dead bodies that she killed herself, and
Dang.
that's
She's a killer queen. I'm so sorry.
yeah. So there's that connection, but there's not much else besides that. It's just where Mary, the name itself came from.
Yeah, and it's also sung by Shadow Mary in one of the videos.
Oh yeah,
Not
it
just
was
that.
mentioned.
Oh no,
Hmm?
go ahead. Go ahead and
No, go
say your.
ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking whenever Mary Mary kills her, I was like, huh, Bloody Mary, but I didn't know if it was connected or not.
Ah,
And
so
it kind of makes sense to be connected with,
uh, yeah,
because it's really bloody.
The creator, has said it's just a subtle nod to the actual nursery rhyme, but besides that, the actual Mary in the ARG has not killed anyone. Um,
Yeah.
she's not a murderer. It's more of a story of her own, what's going on in her mind.
Yeah.
Let's see. It looks like a few days ago, posted by Kay, she announced that Hi Mary Mary turned 3 years a few weeks ago, and that's further to say that it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's surprising to see that it's still going, and there's a large following to see what happens to Mary. Um, Besides that, I believe that's all I have to say.
Yeah, same here.
Brady, you have been very, very quiet during this
Cause I
episode.
just lost all my stuff.
Okay, in
Oh my
Minecraft.
god, Brady.
I
What?
may. I have lost your.
Brady, do you have any input to this
No,
episode?
my input was evaluation.
Okay. Well,
It was, I hate
I don't.
evaluation.
I don't really know much about Mary Mary. I mean, I watched an Expo's video on it, but that's about it.
so
And
no
plus, I did
comments?
bring up a few things. So,
Okay. Yeah,
but yeah, no
yeah. All right.
comments. I mean, sounds like an interesting one. I might have to watch it some of the videos later, or have Riley show me the videos.
I will.
But yeah, that's it really from me. I don't know if you guys have anything else. Oh,
I think I've gone very in depth for myself. Uh, I've said all I can say.
I think Hans's internet might have died again.
It did.
All right, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna leave the podcast here. Uh,
Ah.
we. Oh, well, there he is. I was just ending the podcast. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
What did I miss?
I was just about to end the podcast.
Wow, this is not going well. Anyways, you were right about to end the podcast.
Yep,
All right,
Yes.
yeah,
that's what I
go
was doing.
for it.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you watching, listening, whatever you guys are listening on. YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud,
Apple Music
Apple
slash
Music.
podcasts, Google
Yeah,
Play Music slash podcasts, and iTunes. And then you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and
and
Discord,
Patreon.
and
That's
Patreon.
what
Yes,
big push for
please.
Patreon.
We would like uh, support and funding so we could improve the quality of our podcast. And last but not least, I will plug my own social medias here. You can find me on Instagram at Hans underscore Husarianto, as well as Twitter at Hans underscore Husarianto. I am also found on YouTube at Hans Anonymous. And Brady, where can our listening audience find you?
Uh, Shit, I'm trying to think. Instagram Fireclayman, Twitter Fireclayman, uh, YouTube Fireclayman.
Okay.
That's about it.
And Riley, if you would like our listening audience to find you, where could they?
You can find me on Instagram at Riley Foy or Twitter Min Riley. Check the description so you actually know how to spell my name.
Yeah.
And that's about
And
it.
thank you for listening. Please join us again next week.
And remember, you're breathtaking.
I hate you.